Talk about this, the London Film Festival. It kicks off. It opens today, this Wednesday. And from Star Wars to James Bond, Gravity, etc., etc., the British film industry has produced some of the most profitable blockbusters ever. And in recent years, spending on film production in the UK has soared as tax incentives certainly lure film production companies onto British soil. But is the filmmaking, the industry and the money-spinning scheme that it used to be? Because these days, many people don't bother going to the cinema. Why? Because the popularity of online services like Netflix, Amazon's Love Film and Apple's iTunes has fueled a 40% increase in spending on digital downloads. That's just over the past year alone. And this shift has been most obvious, right here, in Europe and the United States. And the consequence, well, it has been a slowdown, of course, in cinema ticket sales. For example, in the US, cinema ticket sales are on a downward trend, falling marginally certainly in the last couple of years. But there is still some good news for cinemas, because ticket sales are on the rise in the biggest market in the world, and that, of course, yes, it's China. Listen to this. It reportedly sold 180 million more cinema tickets in 2013 than it did in 2012. That is a rise of nearly 40%. But in the long term, has the big night out at the movies had its day? Let's find out. ElliotGrove is director of Raindance Film Festival and joins us. Elliot, always great to have you on the program. I want to start with this. I wonder if my wife and I are a sign of the times. For a long time, we hadn't gone to a cinema. We went on Sunday. It cost me $38 for 2 tickets. And I thought, no, this is why I prefer to stay home, quiet, comfortable living room, and watch a downloaded film from iTunes or something like that.
Hey, well, that's certainly an option, Aaron. But perhaps you and your highly stressed job, and I love watching your show, maybe when you get home, you don't want to go back and meet people. We found at the Raindance Film Festival last week, like China, the admissions to the cinema went up a staggering 41%. And we find that people love the communal experience. But the digital era is here. And the problem is, you pay your $10 for Netflix, you watch, House of Cards, one of the big shows, and all of the other movies are just sitting there, but people aren't watching them. And Aaron, if that was one of your movies on their huge playlist, you wouldn't make any money. So the challenge is, how do you monetize the digital world unless you're one of these big shows? And the movie theaters in America are petrified of the big providers like Netflix. They're now making movies that were released first on Netflix, and so the cinemas are saying, well, we won't show those movies in our theaters, making the problem even worse. And it is a real dogfight out there.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, Elliot, are cinemas part to blame? Because we keep hearing, and today we're looking at the numbers, it is cheaper today to make a movie. So the filmmakers, the costs are down. But for us, the consumer, we go to a cinema, the ticket prices are going up.
Yeah, but paradise ain't cheap, Aaron. Those nice, comfy seats and those beautiful boxes of popcorn.
Yeah, those beautiful boxes of popcorn, which may cost about 3 pence, and they sell them for about £5. Let's talk about China. Those numbers are astonishing. The film industry, your industry, must look at China and go, hallelujah.
It's the golden goose, but the downside is, of course, censorship in what movies they allow to show there, and they take out anything. You were telling me earlier this morning about the red button. Anything about China, boom, a red button goes on the good old BBC News. So that is something we're learning to do and work with. But of course, Chinese films are now coming over to Europe and to America. And when that starts happening, you have a real cross, a bit like the Indian movies that have crossed over, Slumdog Millionaire, British movie that played in India and around the world. Those are the sorts of stories that people like me are trying to figure out how to write and make. And of course, when we make them, we'll make them in Britain, because it is, as you rightly said, 38% cheaper to make movies right now here than in America.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that. I look forward to seeing it. Let me know when you've done it. Elliot, it's always a pleasure having you with us. Take care, mate. ElliotGrove from Raindance Film Festival.